This is my son's bedroom that I'm doing a complete makeover in. And this wall you can see here, I decided to do a Fortnite slash hockey mural on it. I just decided to go a little bit crazy. I used AI to help me come up with a really cool image for it. I told AI, hey, my son likes Fortnite and he likes hockey. Can you make something cool? And then it's like, here you go. And I was like, make it crazier. And it tried again. I said crazier. And that's how I came up with this image. So this craziness did not come from my mind. So this is all AI here. So that was super cool to use that to create this whole idea for the wall. Then I just went on and I penciled on an outline. You can kind of see the little monster on the right hand side there. And after that, it was grab the brushes, get out the craft paint, and start painting. I put in like an hour or two a day for about a week on this. So I probably have 8 to 10 hours to paint this mural, somewhere in there, maybe a little bit less. But it was really fun. Felt like a kid again, just only my coloring book was huge. So that was awesome. This monster I'm painting the horns on right now is, I don't know what he is. He's just a cool monster that we created, and he kind of feels like he belongs in Fortnite. And you'll see him come to life later on here. I got to tell you a little bit more about him. But here I'm just painting the mountains, doing a little bit of background, trying to blend in my cheap paints. If I had to do this again, I'd probably invest in some better paints, but even the cheap ones add up when you need a whole bunch for a big wall like this. So. You can see how you can kind of just see through these paints, and I debated doing multiple coats, layering them more, but I didn't really care. Once I stepped back every time, I really liked how it looks. So I was real happy. But back to the monster here. This monster, every time I was painting him, he was the most fun to paint. It felt creative and just got to be a little wild and out there. I kept roaring while I was painting, and I didn't even notice until I watched the video back. I'd just be sitting there and I'd look at the wall and I'd be like, rawr, as I'd be painting his mouth or something. And it was just kind of corny and cheesy, but so much fun. And then I like just adding texture into his fur and a little bit of red around his mouth. You know how a bear looks after he's been eating fish and he's kind of got that blood around his mouth and everything? He had to be a monster that you need to fear. So tried to give him that. I used a little bit of neon paints in this, just a spackling around in the monster. I wanted his eyes to pop and his teeth to glow like they're just kind of something to be feared. Other than that, there's almost no neon paint in this. If I did it over again, I might add a little bit to the moon, even just a little bit of layer, like a layer of glow in the dark paint on the moon, just to get that to pop a little bit more. But right now, the monster pops out in the dark, and that's really a fun part about this whole thing. You can see in the left and right hand corners, we start to have that hockey come to life. And I know I've got a Nike swoosh on the hockey stick. It should be Bauer or CCM, but hey, the boy likes Nike, video games, and hockey. So I blended them all together. So my apologies, Bauer and CCM. Your stuff is awesome, but Nike got the credit for a stick today. I wanted to make the stick look like it's in the middle of a slap shot kind of, and it's hitting the stones and it's almost sparking and turning into a big like flame behind the hockey stick as you're shooting it down through the forest there. And had to put the Fortnite logo in, and there's my little hockey man off in the forest. I didn't know what to do for the helmet, so I gave him like this face that just kind of disappears, like he's almost got a little bit of like a Jason vibe or something to him, which I thought was kind of neat. I did notice my star was awful. I can't freehand a star up close, it turns out. All right, so here I'm just putting a matte clear coat over the whole thing to just help protect it from dirty hands, you know, boys eating peanut butter, whatever. Clean it easier, give it a little bit longer life. So a little clear coat over the whole thing to give it a little pop and protection. And there is the final thing. And here's how it pops in the different colored lights, and a little overview of the whole room when it was done. and subscribe, right? Yeah, okay.